Okay. All right. Good morning. Today is April the 18th. Started the live session a bit late because I had a doctor's appointment. So today, unfortunately, I didn't. The markups we have here are from yesterday, so we really don't have any markups to go off of today. But recapping, yesterday the trade we were waiting on. The sell finally came after the live session was over, and the sell ideally hit TP. So what we were waiting on here was uh, retest of this trend line and then closure below. So we had this. So we had a couple of trades, right? The first trade was the first trade for me hit break even. Let me see where I entered. Um, yeah, the first trade I'd entered was somewhere around here, and then price came back up. So price went up into profit about 35 pips, and then I had set break even for that trade. And then I re-entered when this candle tried to close above, but it came back and closed below. So that's where I entered that trade. And again, this is why I always say, always to draw your trend lines and not to delete them. So you can see the trend line that we were looking at yesterday, even just by leaving it on my trading view. I'll first delete this because we don't need this for now. Also the one to the downside, let's just keep that for now. But this trend line that we drew yesterday, it held here, and also held here and held here too. So that's the trend, the break of the trend line here. I'm pretty sure that's what we got, probably got a small retest. So this candle broke below, retested the 9 EMA and dropped. So this is the importance of drawing your trend lines. I always draw my trend lines on MT4, and I do not delete them. So this trend line that we were using yesterday, you can see how it held consistently through Asia. So again, we don't have any markups for today because I didn't do them because I had to go for a doctor's appointment. So for now, let's ignore the supply and demand zones that we see, and also these bullish zones and bearish zones, especially anything from the hourly and below. The 4-hour zones should still be valid. So for today, if at all anything, we would be looking to trade with the trend lines and the EMAs. So I'll go ahead and do this. Try to draw a trend line from, I don't like when the trend line is cutting through candles. Okay, so currently I am bearish on US 30, bearish on gold, and I'm sorry, bullish on gold and bullish on EU. So for US 30, let's see. So again, for today, we're ignoring the supply and demand zones because I did not do any markups from for today. So the only thing I see here on US 30, I'm trying to see. So we already had so if we take this off, we already had a death cross right here, which is the 9 EMA crossing the 200 to the bottom. We had a retest of the 9 EMA. So right now, we are looking for sells on US 30, but then the question is where to enter those sells. We have a trend line to the upside. Again, we can't we don't have any markups for today, so I'm not even sure if this hourly bearish high still stands from yesterday. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can try and check that. Try and do a quick markup of US 30 on the hourly. Hourly. Yeah, the hourly bearish. Yeah, so this hourly bearish high still stands for US 30 based on what I'm seeing. If I go here on the hourly chart and we try to find, actually, I do have an hourly chart on my right. See, reset here. So we do have this zones right here. So this is what I'm looking for the hourly bearish high. So if you look all the way to the left, we do have this candles right here. So this is one. So we're looking for the previous bullish candle. So this is the downtrend that I'm looking for. So when US 30 started this downtrend from 898 down to 583. So looking for the previous hourly bullish candle, which is this one. So this is the hourly bearish high around 878. 33,878, and hourly bearish low is at 33,810 area. So if I look at that, it's still holding from yesterday. Yeah. So yeah, this hourly bearish high is still valid. So what we're looking for is closure below and retest and closure below. So this particular candle just closed above. So what we need, if this candle closes below, we're looking for the next candle to retest the hourly bearish high and then close below. And at that point, that would be the sell on US 30. For this one, since I don't have any other markups for today, honestly, for this trade, I would just use a lower lot size. I would feel confident knowing what's above here, but keep in mind again, today I didn't have time to do any markups. So all this 30-minute and whatnot, I'm pretty sure they're not valid as they're from yesterday. But this hourly bearish high is definitely valid, as I just did analyze that right here. So I'm looking at this hourly candle from Wednesday, April 12th, as the order block, hourly order block candle. But what I would be looking for here is closure below and then a retest of this hourly bearish high and closure below. And then at that point, I would be looking to enter into a sell. Stop loss here, 50 pips stop loss, 50 pips take profit. Keep in mind, we also do have an hourly bullish zone around here. So we'll just wait on that trade. I don't feel like analyzing the other instruments, to be honest, given that we don't have any markups for today. I would just be wasting some time. But even for these other instruments, I really don't see anything. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see anything. So this US 30 trade is probably the only trade we can catch today. But tomorrow I'll definitely have the markups ready, and then we can have um, a smoother trading day. So if you're just joining us, keep in mind today we don't have any markups because I had to go for a doctor's appointment. So today, ideally, we're either trading with the trend lines or 9 EMA. For US 30, I did confirm that this hourly bearish high and bearish low is still valid, as I'm using this hourly candle, the chart to my right. I'm using this hourly candle on Wednesday, April 12th. So this is the bearish, so bearish high at around 33,878 and bearish low at around 33,800. So that's what I'm using for this. So for this trade, waiting on the hourly bearish high to be retested as this candle closed below. So waiting on the hourly bearish high to be retested, and then we need that candle to close. And at that point, we will enter the sell on US 30. For this trade, personally, for me, I would rather risk 0.25%. The reason for that is because ideally today we are trading half blind. We're missing a bunch of our confluences like the markups. So I'm not really feeling like going for a 0.5 risk on this trade. On the other hand, if you want to do 0.5 risk, you can do 100 pip stop loss and 100 pip take profit. So here I'm just waiting for the retest of 33,878. And then at that point, I need retest and closure below. But then keep in mind, right, just by looking at this, where is price likely to reject from? So that's the first entry at the hourly bearish high. But then, right, price can come and retest the 9 EMA. So keep in mind, price can go up, retest the 9 EMA and come back down. And also at this point, I can go to the 1 minute time frame to see that's where we will see like an exact retest. So on the 1 minute time frame, if we get an exact retest and closure below, and maybe another 1 minute to retest and close below, I can enter early because on the 5 minute candle, we have how many more minutes till this candle closes? We have 2 more minutes. But this right here is the trade that I am waiting for. It's probably the only trade that I'll take today. The other thing, I don't know if anybody tested out what I talked about the signals yesterday, like the signals that come up mid-Asia. So there was this one signal from a gold buy. Let's see, gold buy. It was at PM. It was on the 15-minute, I think, unless I'm missing it. Wait, I'll just, because I posted those results right here. Yeah, this first signal, I forget exactly what time it was. It was a gold buy. That one went straight into profit, same as the EU. But I think this is the account that takes signals 24/5. But I'm not sure if this were, let me just go back real quick. Okay, this is still going. I'm trying to see those signals yesterday. So I normally say from 7. So between 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and about 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just keep an eye out on those signals. Yeah, so this is that gold buy that came up. This was such a good buy. So this one went straight into profit. I think the EU, this one was later on. Yeah, so this is also the one that went straight into profit. So just by doing the math, you only need one of these signals, right? So if you have a 100K account, we talked about it, right? Just make 500 a day. You'll pass phase 1 of any challenge in about 2.5 weeks. Trust me, there's really no need to rush and try and make 3,000 or 5,000 a day. So you just need one of these signals, and we get like 30 or so in a day. And keep in mind, this is only for NAS, US30, Bitcoin, and gold, and EU and AU. So like right here, I'm waiting for this. We are literally just scratching the ice, right? Because we have other instruments that we can add in here. We can add Euro JPY, we can add USD CAD, USD JPY. But just by this 4 instruments right here that we are trading, or we are getting signals for, you just need to wait for one signal, analyze it, and get in. Use our TP and stop loss, make your 500 a day, close your account, wait for the next day, look for 1 or 2 good signals, do the same thing for 2.5 weeks. You're literally done with phase 1. And I'm starting another challenge for somebody else probably next week. So this candle closed above, so this wouldn't be the entry. We need a candle to close below and retest right here, and it's going to be better to see it also on the 1 minute. So on the 1 minute, we need to see exact retest, and then at that point we can re-enter. But you can see where price is also bouncing off of, so it's bouncing off of an hourly bullish high. I'm gonna ignore the supply and demand zones for today because I haven't drawn any markups for today, but these hourly bullish and bearish zones are still very valid. Also here, if you're looking at the hourly time frame, I can automatically see a trend line on the hourly. So if I were to do this on the hourly, I can draw from this lower low right here, right? So price, there's a trend line holding price to the upside right here on US30. So that's why also for this particular trade, we need to be careful. So we are still in the 5-minute candle. On the 1 minute, yes, this would be an early entry for a sell. Let me see, I will enter that 50 pips take profit, 50 pips stop loss. Keep in mind, so here we entered on the 1 minute time frame. The reason for that is that I was looking for this rejection around the hourly bearish high and bearish low. And then what I wanted to see is this exactness, right? So that's the reason why I dropped on the 1 minute time frame. But if you guys want to be safe, you can wait for the 5-minute time frame to give a confirmation. But the 1 minute time frame for me gave me an early entry for that particular trade. Yeah, so keep in mind, today we only have this hourly bearish high, bearish low, and the bullish zones. Ignore all these other 15-minute and 30-minute zones as those were from yesterday. Today I didn't have time to do any markups. But anyway, so let's go back to this. So for these signals, just wait on one, take one, no need to be greedy. Also, there's this one thing I posted yesterday, like literally, there's no need for you to aim. And that's another reason why I don't post the other accounts that I have, larger profits on, because I found that when I first started trading, some of the people that I used to follow used to make maybe 5,000, 10,000 a day, and not consistently, right? Maybe they would make 10,000 today and maybe 500 tomorrow. And then what that led me to do is I was over leveraging, and I just ended up blowing a lot of accounts because I was trying to be like this other person. So like literally 500 a day, you'll pass phase one of any challenge in 2.5 weeks, or at most 3 weeks, right? You get like a month for phase one. Phase two, rinse and repeat the same thing, and then you'll pass phase two in like 2 weeks or 1.5 weeks. Yeah, same thing with a small account. So this additions I was doing here were ideally like a small account. So because I'll start flipping some small accounts starting next week, right? So like $12 a day, you can make $300 a month. $25 a day, you make $600 a month. $35 a day, you make $1,200 a month, right? So even with this, with our signals, like for me personally, what I'm doing, the accounts that I have, the risk that I'm doing is, let me see what that is. So for this 100K account right here, and this is this 100K account right here, I'm risking $500 per trade. So I'm risking 0.5% per trade. For the other accounts that I'm doing, like the live account, whether it's like a $1,500 account, I'm risking like 25 bucks a trade. So if I'm risking like $25 a day, and you can see the win rate of these signals, I should be easily able to make $12 a day, $25 a day, or $50 a day, right? But even while trying to flip an account, especially if you're not yet there to do it manually by yourself, there's no need to try and make, so like this breakdown, $25 a day, this means I only need one signal to win overall, right? So I can have like out of 3 signals, I can have 2 winners and 1 loser, right? Risking $25 a trade, I would still end up making 25 bucks a day. So the reason I've broken it down to $25 a day, $50 a day, and $75 a day, I'm trying to see how consistent I can be, right? So $75 a day, this means while risking $25 for every entry or every trade, it means that I have to win I have to be net positive 3 winning trades a day. Same thing for $50, right? I have to be net positive 2 winning trades a day. Same thing for the $25 a day. So the thing I'm experimenting on for this is how consistent can I be to win 3 trades every day, right? So based on the results from the signals, right? Some days I'm gonna be at break even, but if I had chosen to just take 1 win for the day, I would have easily won each and every day for like 2 weeks. On the other hand, there are days that you see, like today, this is a 100K account, it's up like 2 grand, right? That's 2% return. Now this 2% is not going to happen every day. There's some days I'm going to be at break even, sometimes maybe I'm going to be down 0.5%. So the thing with this trading, right, you always want to watch out for consistency. So would you rather risk to try and make $75 a day, or to try and have a net winning position of 3 trades a day, or would you try and just stick to $25 a day, which means you only have to win 1 trade, which is more probable, right? So between these three, and it's the same analogy even for a 100K account or for a 200K account, same analogy. So like when you see this $25 a day, equate that to like $500 a day on a 100K account, right? So if we are talking about a 100K account, are you more likely to make $500 a day? Are you more likely to make $50 a day would be like 1,000 a day, and $75 a day would be like 1,500 a day? So which are you more likely to do? And this is just based on signals, but you can equate that also to your winning strategy and your manual or EA, whatever EA you use trade. So you look at what is more probable. So for a 100K account, instead of going for 1,500 a day, if I can comfortably make 500 a day just by choosing one of these signals, why not just stick with that and do it for the next 2.5 weeks, right? So that's the analogy of that. And yeah, and that's the signal. I think US 30 is pumping back up. Yeah, so even on the 5-minute entry, 5-minute time frame, that would still be the entry because this candle did close, retested the hourly bearish high, and closed below. So for this trade, I did say since we don't have any of these other markups, I would rather go for a 0.25% risk as opposed for the normal 0.5 that we use. And then initially I did say this was the entry, and then I did say price can come back up and retest the 9 EMA. But I am in this position personally, and this is the only trade I think I'm going to take for today. Does anybody have any questions regarding anything that we went over? And also going over the analysis from yesterday, there's this markup we did on gold. So the first trade we took on gold, right, ended up we hit stop loss, but for this trade we traded a bullish hammer candle. It wasn't part of any official strategies, and for this trade I did say to take a 0.125% risk. And then I drew this markup, right? You can see this zigzag. So I said we had a 4-hour bearish high and low here, and price can come, pick up demand, go back up, which it actually did here, and then drop back down to this demand zone within a demand zone that was here. So price literally came there and bounced over. So after the live session, what did I say? I said gold has been trending down for about 200 pips, and for the perfect entry, we needed to wait for closure above the 9 EMA and then retest and closure above the 9 EMA. So I did tell you guys that I was putting my alert on in order to know when gold was crossing the 9 EMA. So gold actually broke above the 9 EMA for a very, after a long time, gold broke above the 9 EMA with this. Let me turn this off. With this particular candle. And then what I waited for, I needed the next candle to retest and break above and close above the 9 EMA. And then that's when I entered a buy on gold at 1990. And then trade came back a little bit into drawdown and then went all the way back up and hit take profit. Right, so you also want to be on the lookout on the trending days. So with our strategies, actually, there's no need to fear any trending days. Actually, for me personally, I love to see trending days because I'll just do the same thing. I'll just wait for price to close below or above the 9 EMA. Same thing with EU, right? Literally, rinse and repeat. We did the same thing. I think I had markups for EU. There you go. So I had this markup for EU that EU was more likely to come into this demand zone within a demand zone, bounce back up and shoot back up, right? So same thing with EU. EU, I said there's no need to chase any entry, even in the demand zone within a demand zone. We needed to wait for this whole trend to continue. And then guess what, right? I said the same thing with EU. We needed to wait for price to close above the 9 EMA on the 5-minute, and then we needed the next candle to break to retest the 9 EMA and close above, right? So this right here would have been your entry, and you would have bought at the lows, right? So this right here would have been at the entry. You go, this is 1.09183, and then you go down into drawdown about 7, no, that's about even 5 pips, right? Yeah, I think that's about 5 pips. And then guess what? Throughout the day, price went all the way back up. So these are some of the trades you can write easily for 50 pips. But I don't think I took the EU trade. I just took the gold trade and I was done for the day, because if you saw the results I had yesterday, I made about 4% return. No, like 2.5% return. Yeah, so this was 2.5% return. So for me, when I actually make money, I don't have to keep this. There's always going to be another opportunity in trading. So yeah, same thing with EU. You go there and you would have gotten a very nice entry, ride it all the way to the top. So let's see, today, did we have a trend? Reset this. Yeah, so same thing here, right? We had a trend for about 399. We had about a 40 pip trend. So same thing, right? Rinse and repeat. Wait for closure below the 9 EMA on the 5-minute. Wait for a retest and closure below. So if you're waiting this whole time and looking for sales, okay, price closed below the 9 EMA here, but guess what? The next candle went and closed above. You keep waiting. This candle right here close below the 9 EMA. The next candle retested the 9 EMA and close below. You enter your short here, 20 pips stop loss, 20 pip take profit. You would have been in drawdown, maybe that's 743, just about 5 or 4 pips. And then the trade would have come back in and hit TP. So yeah, there's so many ways to win. And even for like this particular reversal strategy, even going forward, for the people who will not be able even to have access to the signals, right? This is literally the 9 EMA is a free indicator on TradingView. Of course, the 5-minute chart also is a free whatever on TradingView. So you just need to wait for those, and then you enter, you make your quick money, and then you're done for the day. Yeah, so for today, this is the only trade that I'll take. And then we'll be back tomorrow. And then I did update the results from yesterday. So yesterday, initially, we did take that minus 0.125 loss, but then we had the US 30 trade, and the US 30 trade, I had marked it as a 0.5% risk. So yesterday, we went back into profit and ended the day with 0.375. This current trade that we are in right now, in with a 0.25% risk. Only reason for that is because I didn't have any time to do any markups for today. So ignore the 30 minutes, the 15 minutes, the hourly bearish high and the bullish zone, that is still valid because I just did a quick analysis on how I would have marked them today, and that still stands. Now, if this candle closes below our entry, I will size in with another 0.25% risk because that's going to give confirmation for the continuation. But if you can see here on the hourly, you can see that we are trending up on the hourly. So whenever US 30, even when US 30 breaks this trend to the downside, US 30 is likely to continue falling. But if this trend gets held on the hourly, US 30 will keep pumping. So this is on the hourly, we rarely get hourly trend lines. So this is something to keep in mind for higher time frame. So just draw this trend line on the hourly, and then this is what's going to define what US 30 will do. If US 30 breaks this trend line, retest this trend line and closes below on the hourly, we are likely to keep going down on US 30. So right now, what I can see is if US 30 is to continue going down, they're likely to fake sellers out right now, right? Because ideally market makers, they want to take most of the profits for themselves. So they might be trying to trap people who are seeing this potential sell and just fake them out and then keep going down. So just keep an eye out on this trend line on the hourly. Does anybody have any questions for today? All right. Let's see. Let's move this. Okay, and for me, this particular trade, I am only entering it on one of my accounts. I did show you already. I'm heavily up in profit in most of my other accounts. I don't know if you, unless we had a sell stop to size in. But there you go. It's about to hit full TP. So remember, per our strategies, if we are 50% in profit, you need to set break even. So for you guys right now, this trade should be at break even. Personally, I'll still hold it, but if we get stopped at a break even, I'll count that as just break even. But just do your due diligence. We had a good spike to the downside, but this trade, and for here, looking at my MT4, we do have a trend line that's holding price up, but once that trend line is broken, price will keep going down. So actually what I'll do for me here for this trade, I will actually try to go for 100 pips, take profit for this trade. But that's not official. Even though I make 2% or 3% in this trade, I'm not going to count the win as 3%. I did tell you guys to just do 0.25. So whatever you choose to do with this trade right now, it's up to you. But that trade is trade in profit, and you guys should be at break even per our strategies. I need to change my take profit. Yeah, because I want to write this for a bit longer. All right, so let me see. I'll do this at I don't want this to hit take profit before I adjust it. Okay. Yeah. So the only thing holding us here is the hourly bullish high. So that is still valid. So the hourly, so anything for today, any markups that are the hourly and above are still valid. The only markups that are not valid for today is the anything below the hourly and below. Because I didn't do any markups for today. So actually we're only using yesterday's markups. So right here, right, this is where you should either, if you're already up for the day, like in previous trades from signals or from your own strategies, I would recommend, well, if you don't mind this hitting break even, that's fine. But if with this particular trade where it's at right now and you're up maybe 0.8 for the day, I would just say call it a day. The reason I'm saying that is, what are we watching, right? Actually, right now, we're not really watching the 5 minute. This is what we are watching right now. We are watching the hourly time frame, the chart to my right, because we have this trend line to the upside. So this right here, however this hourly candle closes, is what's going to define where US 30 is going to go. So keep in mind, they can easily pump this all the way back up. They can fake out, so they can be trapping sellers right here. So they can flip this candle, close it as a bullish hammer candle, and then US 30 is going to keep trending up from there. So that's what I'm saying. Just do your due diligence. At this point, if you're already up for the day, maybe consider even securing some. If you don't mind this trade hitting break even, that's fine. But for me, I'm actually going for 100 pips for this particular trade. I might secure half once this trade hits take profit. So let's go. Let's keep pumping down. If this candle closes below the hourly bearish low, we'll have another pump to the downside. So we have 55 seconds. Yeah, so that was a good trade. I said I wasn't going to analyze gold or anything else because today I didn't do any markups, and ideally would just be wasting time because I would need to find other markups from EU and gold. So we're just watching to see what's going to happen with this trade. So if this candle closes below the hourly bearish low, it will also be closing below a trend line that I have on my MT4. And then from that point, I do anticipate a spike to the downside. And even when this trade does hit TP, that should be it for the day. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to size in for this trade because I had said if we got a closure below the hourly bearish high, I would size in. Right now, yeah, if you want to size in, that's fine. But personally, I'm not going to call that, and I'm not going to size in. Yeah. If we had other markups, because I don't know what else is around here. So if we had any other markups, I would have. But that's the place where you guys could have sized in at. And there you go, full TP for that trade for a 0.25% return for the day. Today we just went for a lower risk because we don't have any markups around there. But you can see yeah, but that would have been the sizing area. Personally, I'm still in the trade because I said I'm adjusting my TP to 100 pips. And there you go. Price is still dropping. There you go, keeps dropping. Let's see. I just need like 20 more pips to hit 100 pips. So what do we have here? Previous, no, ignore the weekly high, ignore the so actually this should be somewhere there. Previous daily high, this should be Monday's highs. So just ignore these zones. We have a 4-hour bullish high. So remember, anything, any markups for today that are the hourly and above, these zones are still valid. So price is more likely to come back and reject from around this 4-hour bullish high. Yeah, but if you sized in, so remember I did say if the candle closes below the hourly bearish high, that's the place to size in at. However, I didn't expect this candle to drop heavily. I just wanted like a slight closure below so that I can size in from here. But yeah, this was another size in. Personally, I didn't take it because today I told you guys we are trading at minus a bunch of our confluences. But if you sized in, this would have been the size in, and it would have gone straight into TP. But I'm not gonna call that. I'm not gonna count that as a win. Today we are only gonna be up 0.25%. Does anybody have any questions? I don't see any other trades. Ideally, I've taken my win and I'm done for the day. Let's see if we can have now for US30, right? The same thing as if you're looking for a reversal or for a buy, right? So we do have a demand zone coming in here. Or actually, let me just use the term. We do have a bullish high, 4-hour bullish high and bullish low. So same thing, right, for gold and EU that I did yesterday. If you're looking for a nice reversal, just wait for price to close above the 9 EMA on the 5-minute and then to retest the 9 EMA and close above the 9 EMA. Because look at this, right? When was price above the 9 EMA? That was 34,020. So that was about 220 pips ago. Okay, when was price above the 9 EMA and also above the 9 EMA consistently for 2 5-minute candles? So not here, not here. So we are looking for the last time price was above at least with 2 5-minute candles. So that was here. So this is 34,120. Price came down to 33,782. So that's like a 400 pip trend. So same thing for a buy. Wait for price to close above the 9 EMA on the 5-minute. Wait for the next 5-minute candle to retest the 9 EMA and close above. And then at that point, that's when you'd be looking for a buy. So what I'm looking for US30 right now is coming around this zone. So we already tested it. Come back here, trend a little bit, drop to around the hourly bullish low, pick up liquidity. At this point, price should be around the 9 EMA. And then guess what? We close above here, retest for grabbing liquidity and possibly spike back up. So if this doesn't happen, right, just let it go, because US30 can literally keep trending down. And trust me, just use the 9 EMA. Just look at the 9 EMA if you're in doubt. Just look at the 9 EMA is literally going to tell you what's happening, because US30 can literally trend and break even this 4-hour bullish high and possibly even come to the 4-hour bullish low. So yeah, so just keep that in mind. For me, I will close this trade. So I'm still in the trade, but I will close it if it comes to this previous low right here. Let's see, because I don't feel like holding it for much longer. No questions from anyone, and hopefully I'm not on mute.
No, bro. Great trade.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so this trade, so recently we haven't had a no drawdown trade. I know a good amount of my trades are no drawdown, but yeah, so for some of these things, we just need to trust the process, trust the process. For this trade, I did say we are likely to come back up and test the 9 EMA before coming back down, but our stop loss was so far above that. So even if price went just a little bit in drawdown, the trade still played out. So let's see if we have anything else. Yes, so US30 is US30 is fully bearish. Gold is fully bullish. EU is still fully bullish. Let me see how. Oh, I think I made. Look at that. I made so this is the importance of setting a target, right? So I did tell you guys so for this one I was drawing up right here. So this right here, this markup is for a small $1,500 account that I have. So initially I was targeting to do 75 a day, right? So for 75 a day, I already went over that. For 75 a day, I needed to net win 3 signals a day. So for this one, I'm only trading US30, NAS, and gold signals. I'm not trading EU and AU and GJ signals on this live. So what I'm doing, this live account right here, I am copying the trades to 300K challenge that I have. and I'm also copying the trades to is it 100K live account, funded account? Yeah. So to give you an example, right? So 25 a day, I can easily make that from this, and this is only trading the US 30, NAS, and gold signals. And when I fully launch the service for everybody next month, you guys will be able to do all of this, and I'll walk you through how to do it. So, right, so 25 a day, I found that I was able to make that, but sometimes I was aiming for 75 a day. So sure, maybe I could make 75 every 3 days, but then those 2 other days I would either end the day at break even or end the day minus 25. So what I decided, instead of shooting for 75 a day, let me shoot for $50 a day. So that's my current. So I want to test all these things up, so that by the time I'm launching this whole program next week for everyone, that I can give you guys a target to meet every day, instead of just telling you guys, oh, just let the signals run 24/5. I mean, that's not a strategy. But even the signals that are running 24/5 for me, I'm still making money. But if literally I can just go for like 0.5% a day, I can easily make that. But anyway, yeah. So 25 a day on this small $1,500 account. Look at that. That's 300. No. That's 600 a month. I can literally double the account in 2 months, right? If I do 50 a day, I can. So right now I'm doing 50 a day. I can double the account in 1 month, right? So there's no need, especially if you're using signals. I know like one of the admins here, Dean, he 10x a $600 account in like 4 weeks. But if you're not yet there in trading manually by yourself, right? This is the system that we'll be using. So just write it down. So I just looked at, because what I've done right now, I've set that small live account to close the terminal automatically once it reaches $50 profit. And right now I just see that it's closed. So that means that I made 50 for the day. So multiply this by 50 for the day, that is 1,000 a day on so the 100K funded account, I know that I already made 1,000 automatically. On the 300K challenge, I know that I automatically made 1,500, right? So same thing for $1,500 for 300K challenge. If you do 1,500 a day, you will meet the 8% return, 8% profit target on MFF in 2.5 weeks. So yeah, so ideally what I'm doing, I'm using a small account to copy trades into bigger accounts. Because the other thing that I've noticed is that, oh wait, you know what? I said that I was going to close yours there. Okay. I want to make sure I don't get taken out. The other thing that I've noticed, because trading is a bunch of psychology, right? When I was trading the 300K account, even though like a 1% loss on a 300K account is 3K, right? So the issue is, like most of the challenges that personally I've done were 100K accounts. So for a 100K account, I know like my max drawdown is 5,000, right? But when I was moving to, like, for example, this $300,000 account, and I always want to be transparent with you guys, like I am not like a guru or anything, so I'm not perfect, right? So one thing I noticed when I moved to the 300K challenge is that if I'm down 3K on a 300K challenge, ideally that's just 1%. That's literally like being down 1,000 on a 100K account. Now, if I was down 1,000 on a 100K account, that wasn't really messing with me because I was used to it. But then when I was down 3,000 on a 300K account, I was like, wait, this is kind of weird, because for me, the mentality that I was having, or the psyche that I was having, was that it was the 100K psyche, right? And that's another reason why I started counting our gains based on percentage return and not monetary returns and not pips. Because what I noticed is that if you just focus on money, the returns being monetary, it can mess with your psychology. So like right here, same thing that I'm talking about right here. So if I'm copying $25 to a 300K account, like I just told you guys. So if I make $25 on the 300K account, I know I am making, wait, actually give me 1 second. Let me see if I have that right, because this is 500. No, actually scratch that. Let me make sure I have this right. This is 500 on a 100K account. This is 1,000. Oh, actually, you know what? Never mind. So guess what? The $50 that I made, this is actually equivalent to 3,000 on a 300K account. That's just what I realized. So, but if I was trading that manually and just using the 300K account as my master account, trust me, I probably would have closed when I was up like $1,500. So yeah, so that's another thing you can use. Find a smaller account size and just adjust the lot multiplier to your other bigger accounts. One strategy that one of the admins here, like Steven, he told me is like you can use $100 account and copy those trades to like your 100Ks or 300Ks, because like if you're trading $100 account, so long as you're using proper risk management and you're using the proper risk, if you're up $5, right, it's not that big of a return, right? But on the 300K account, you're probably going to be up like 2,000 or 3,000. Same thing, like if you're going to draw down maybe $10, so long as you're using proper risk management, $10 out of $100, right, might not affect you as much as $5,000 on a 300K account, if that makes sense. Yeah, so that's another little strategy you guys can use. Find a smaller account size and use that to copy trades into your bigger accounts. Other than that, that's it for the day. I'm done for the day. So this right here can still play out up here, ideally waiting for closure above the 9 EMA, retest and closure above. But keep in mind, we are about to close the hourly. So if this hourly does close above this trend line, they might keep trending US 30 to the upside. But you can see this is a major point of interest for US 30, this hourly trend line. So whatever happens after today, it will be dependent upon how this hourly candle will close. If it closes above the trend line, for any confirmed buys, you need to wait for the next hourly candle to retest the trend line and close above. Same thing for sells. If you want to keep re-entering sells on US 30, I would say if this hourly candle closes below the trend line, don't automatically enter the sell. Wait for the next hourly candle to retest the trend line and then close below. And at that point, so ideally we'll know the direction of US 30 in the next, so this is the current hour. So in the next hour, right? Because we need this candle to close, and then we also need the next hourly candle to close. But that should be it for the day, guys. This was an amazing trade. Unless anybody else has any questions, I will see you guys tomorrow. Does anybody have any questions regarding anything I talked about today?
Yeah, bro, just one thing. With gold,
Mhm.
do you see it going back up to 2048,
Okay,
2050?
let's see what we have. Yeah, so personally, I am still so over a month ago, I did say when gold was at 1812, I did a review and I said that gold was gonna go to 2050. So I actually called that trade. I remember it was at 1812, around 1812. But I wish I was a swing trader. If I was a swing trader, I would have made a lot of money. So I actually called the gold buy somewhere around here. Because after I did the high time frame review, I mentioned that the first stop for gold was around 2032. That was a perfect sell. And if you guys remember, when gold actually hit 2032, it actually melted exactly from 2032. So this is the 2032 area. Did a head and shoulders right here. I think I also reviewed this on the live session. Did a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, melted to the downside. And when gold was actually here, also I remember we were trading on the live session on this candle. I did call a buy here because we had a demand zone. I was looking at the structure, right? Completion of this structure to the downside. And then I did say the same thing, wait for closure above the 9 EMA on the 5-minute retest and closure above. And then we did have this pop to the upside. So let me just do a quick high time frame analysis on gold. So for here, keep in mind when drawing, so this is the other thing for drawing such trend lines, right? So I have this lower low, I have this high low, I have this high low here, I have this high low here. So normally you want your trend line to hit most of the points, right? So yeah, you can draw it from this lower low to this high low, but price is so far away from it. On the other hand, you can draw it from this lower low to this high low. But remember, for me, when I'm drawing trend lines, I don't want my trend lines to cut through candles, right? I try to avoid that as much as possible. So what I'll do here, I'll draw from this lower low to this high low here. So that way it's closer to this high low here, and it's closer to also this high low here. Also, if you can look at the way I just drew it, if I zoom in, you can see that price actually on the hourly, price maintained on this trend line. So price tried to close below, came back up, and this hourly candle, price supported that price point. So this trend line right here is a strong trend line for Confluence. Let's find another trend line for gold. So this is the next one on the hourly. We don't have anything else. Ideally, I don't want to draw this because this is cutting through. It is an established trend line, but I don't like my trend lines cutting through. So right here, I'll just do the analysis using this. Okay, so we have this trend line being maintained. What I can see here automatically, inverse head and shoulders, right? Left shoulder on this lower low, head this lower low. So this is possibly going to be established as a high low. So we have right inverse head and shoulder pattern. We have this right here, left shoulder, neckline, head right here, and then going back to the neckline around whatever here, and then we have the right shoulder here. And yes, so the quick answer to your question, yes, I still expect gold to go to 2050. But I'm not sure I would short 2050 anymore because we had a rejection around that price, but I still expect price to reject from there. Now the next short, if I remember correctly, the demand zone within a demand zone that I had drawn way back was, I'm just using my muscle memory, it was 2070 to 2050. So that was the strong sell area on gold. So honestly, for me, what I would be looking for, yes, I do expect gold to go back up. For me, what I would be looking for here, if price comes back up, instead of selling here at 2050, I would look for the middle of this channel, right? So what's the middle of this channel right here? Horizontal. So that's 2060. So that's where I would enter my first sell on gold at 2060, and then I would enter my other sell at 2070. On the hourly time frame, price has been held by the 9 EMA consistently. Here, price closed below, but we have this bullish momentum going back up. So here I would be looking for buys on gold. Let's see what gold is doing on the 1 minute, on the 5 minute time frame. I'm pretty sure we had a buy on gold, even a signal for a buy. We have this golden cross. So remember, after each golden cross, you normally want, even same thing for the signals, right? If you get a signal, wait for the retest. If you're trading the signal manually, wait for the retest of the 9 EMA. And if you do that, you'll actually have a better win rate than my AI, because my AI just enters these signals on impulse. So right here, what I can see on gold on the lower time frame, so just ignore the demand zones, but you can see we are in strong demand zones. The only reason I'm saying to ignore those is that I didn't do any markups for today. So ideally today we are using yesterday's markups. So I do see a golden cross on the 5 minute. Ideally, after a golden cross, you want to wait for the retest of the 9 EMA. Also, I'm pretty sure we got a gold buy signal. So that also lines up with waiting for the retest of the 9 EMA. I'm trying to look for high time frame order blocks like hourly and above, because I think those are still valid for today. Yeah, this is just too much. Let me delete this inverse head and shoulders. Let me see, there's an hourly bullish low here, hourly bullish high. So let me see if I can find that candle that I used to draw that. So I'm looking to the left of my chart. 2002. Okay. Is this a red candle? I know I changed my candle colors. Yeah, so I believe I used this because when I draw order blocks, I look for the last bearish candle before a bullish trend came up. So here, if I'm looking for a bullish high and low, it might either this one of these candles right here. Yeah, but this hourly order blocks are still valid in my opinion. So one way you can enter a buy right here on gold is for the retest of the 9 EMA around 2007. Or you can wait for the hourly bullish high for price to come back down to the hourly bullish high and hourly bullish low. So the hourly bullish high is 2004, hourly bullish low is around 2002, which also is playing around with the psychological number, which is around 2000. So ideally the buy on gold, I would rather wait for around 2000 and 2003 area. To me, that's a more probable buy. The other thing I can see is, right, so our entries are either off of 9 EMA, off of trend line, or off of structure. There's a structure right here around 2004. So the first entry would be based on your risk parameters. If you can afford 100 pip stop loss, well and good. First entry would be around 2006 or whenever the 9 EMA is retested. Second entry would be on the retest of this structure. So if I turn this off, this structure right here, 2004. The third entry and best entry, in my opinion, would be around 2002. And if you look at it, right, here's where we have the hourly bullish high and hourly bullish low. And also, guess what, right? We also have price being supported by the 200 DMA. Yeah, so right now I am bullish on gold. Gold is trending up on the hourly. We have an inverse head and shoulders, right? That's also ideally bullish. Or shows possible bullish confirmation and for a continuation to the upside. Hopefully I did answer your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, anybody else have any question? All right, if not, I will see you guys tomorrow. Same thing, I repeat, keep an eye out on the signals that come out during mid-Asia. So between 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The other thing to look out for, you see like how we had a gold buy on the 5-minute and gold buy on the 15-minute here. Also watch out for this ones, right? So if you see an asset has a gold, has a buy or sell on the has a buy or sell on the 5-minute time frame, and then soon after you have a buy, you have the same direction or signal on the 15-minute time frame, that is another high probable entry. Yeah, and I'm excited going forward. There's a bunch of things that I can't wait to release to you guys. I'm working on more and more things. And if same thing, right? And I'll start promoting this group hopefully next week. So put a bunch of resources to reach out to more people. If you guys have friends who are interested in the same things we do here, feel free to send them an invite into this group. You guys should have full permissions to invite anybody into this group. And also always beware of scammers. I think I saw somebody, this one person who joined a few days ago, or not this one, I already banned them, but there's another person that was ideally pretending to be somebody else that I know, or an admin of another group that I know. Yeah, and I just banned them. So for me, I'll never reach out to anybody personally. I'll never reach out to you and just to try and solicit you for money or to enter anything. Any promotions or any subscriptions that I talk about, I will always talk about them on the live session. I do not offer any prop firm passing challenges or prop firm passing services. If I ever do, I will always put that in the group. So if you have somebody who comes in and purports to be me, I know most of the times I've tried to stay on the low because I don't like too much attention. But as this group continues to grow and you can see the results that we'll have a lot of people streaming into this group, and then you'll have some people who are trying to take advantage of other people. So if at all in doubt, always DM me or send a message to the group here and tag me, and then you should be golden. But starting hopefully next month and maybe halfway into the month, you guys will have access. We'll have a blueprint on how to just easily go for that 500 a day or 0.5 a day. And hopefully by the end of the year, everybody in here should be funded. Hopefully at the first go, if not at the second go. The market is is you can predict the market. We just try to adapt to it. So, you know, all these returns, what's that disclaimer? I need to be talking about these disclaimers. Past performance does not necessarily dictate future performances. So don't expect to make 3.28% this week. Here it's mostly about learning. I don't care about money. I don't focus on money. I just focus on you guys being the best traders you can ever be. But other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow for another amazing trading day. Thanks. See you guys. Bye.
Thank you.
All right.